I'm Tyler Rogan. Today we're at POWERWASH Academy and I want to answer the question that I get asked all the time: what is soft washing? And the answer to that is essentially we are using low pressure to clean roofs or buildings or whatever it may be, using a chemical solution versus just using a high pressure washer. There are a few different methods of doing soft washing, so I wanted to kind of go through a few of those with you and give you the benefits and downsides of each, and just give you the benefits of soft washing in general. When we're soft washing, we are actually going to be spraying a mix generally of sodium hypochlorite and a soap, or also known as a surfactant. The combination of those two is actually going to kill the organic growth on a surface. So algae, lichen, mold, things of that nature. The benefit of doing soft washing is going to be that we're going to be using a much lower pressure, which is so much safer on most surfaces. And it's going to be a longer lasting clean. The growth on a surface typically will grow into the surface to some extent. Although pressure washing it off, if you haven't damaged anything, it may look as clean as soft washing, but if you look really far down, you're actually going to notice that some of the growth is still there. It's going to allow it to come back quicker and not get quite as much out of your cleaning. So there are a number of different ways to do soft washing, and I want to go through those with you and explain the benefits and downsides to each. The most basic entry-level way to do soft washing is going to be with this tool here. This is called the downstream injector. It's going to tie into a pressure washer. You're going to put it on your hose, and it's going to have a line running out of this into a chemical tank, which will draw the chemical into your stream of the water coming out of your pressure washer. This is the most inexpensive way to get going. However, it is also going to limit you on how strong your cleaning power is going to be, because the ratios are going to be cut down pretty significantly when we're comparing it to more of the higher end units. It can be done. It's going to be a little slower process using a downstream injector, but you can do quite a bit of cleaning with a downstream system. Whenever we are using a downstream injector, we're going to be using a normal pressure washing wand. And we'll be using this tool, which is called a J-rod. They have 4 different nozzles on there. Generally, the way these are put together for people who are soft washing, you're going to have 2 high flow nozzles, and then you're going to have 2 low flow nozzles. The high flow is going to give you lower pressure. That's what's going to allow this downstream injector to draw the soap into your water stream out of the pressure washer and start applying it on whatever it is that we may be cleaning. Once we switch over to the ones with the smaller orifices, it's going to give us higher pressure, and this will no longer be running soap through your line. And so you can switch back and forth between these when you're applying soap, and then when it's time to rinse, switch over to the higher pressure nozzle, and that's one good way to do it. The next step up from that system is going to be the trusty Xjet. This is the Xjet. It's tied to a 15-foot hose that's going to go down into a solution tank where you're going to have your mixture of sodium hypochlorite and your soap, or also known as your surfactant. The surfactant in your mix is going to allow the chemical to stick on a surface. It's going to keep it from drying out so quickly and keep it from running down a flat surface, a flat vertical surface. So this Xjet, we're going to put it on the end of a regular pressure washing wand. It's also utilizing the pressure from your pressure washer to cause a siphon effect off of this, and it's going to draw the soap out of the tank. Your ratios with this are going to be quite a bit higher than a downstream injector. If you have a small unit, say a 2 gallon a minute pressure washer, you can draw about 1-to-1, so about half and half with your house wash mix. But we run 8 gallon a minute machines, and so the max I could draw out of this would be a 3-to-1. So if I were running pure chemical out of my source tank with an Xjet, the most I'd be able to get is about 4%. 4% will clean most stuff, but there are some things that definitely require it to be a little bit stronger. So this will get the job done for you. It's not going to be quite as effective and not going to allow you to put on as strong of a mix as you would with other systems, but it is a good way to get your foot in the door and start cleaning some lighter cleaning jobs. Our next step up from the Xjet is going to be a diaphragm pump. This particular one is an electric diaphragm pump. It is going to use battery to power the pump, and it just draws the chemical directly out of a source tank. You will mix up your your house washing mix into a specific tank, or if you have a proportioning system, you can have a valve system to turn on and balance out your mix between your water, soap, and sodium hypochlorite to as light or as strong as you want if you want to go that route. You know, this is going to give you as strong of a mix as you could possibly want. If you want to run pure chemical through it, you can. And the only downside of this particular one with the battery, you've got to maintain your batteries and make sure they're charged before you go out into the field. I use this. It was my first type of soft washing system. When I got into the house washing with the dedicated system, I was so much happier than I was with my Xjet. My productivity went way up, but I was having to make sure that my batteries were fully charged every time I left the house. And generally I would keep an extra battery on hand that was fully charged in case we're on a huge project and I didn't completely get done washing the house or the roof before my battery was going low. So another good step up from there. This other system behind me is a gas-powered soft wash system. This particular one has a Comet pump on there. It's a fully dedicated system for soft washing, and this is a step up, and the reason being is that you're going to get much more pressure, you're going to get much more flow, and you're not going to have to worry about having to charge up batteries. So with this system, worst case scenario, you run out of gas. All you got to do is top it off with a little bit of gas and you're up and running. You can run all day long, all day and all night with this type of system. This particular skid does have the proportioning system that I mentioned that you can add onto your diaphragm pumps. You've got one for water, one for your sodium hypochlorite, and one for your soap. You can dial those in according to how dirty the surface is that you're going to be cleaning. And so from that, both of the diaphragm pump and this dedicated gas house washing system got a couple different options on the types of guns you can use. Whereas the downstream and the Xjet require a normal pressure washing wand and a pressure washer. When you've got a dedicated system, you can move into one of these lower pressure guns, which this is one that you'll generally get with a soft wash system. These are made for chemicals. They have Viton seals in there, which Viton is a type of rubber that can tolerate chemical exposure for much longer than you would just say a normal typical black O-ring. With these, you'll also use your J-rod to apply your chemical. Pretty simple there. With either the electric or the gas, you definitely want to thoroughly rinse out the machines after you're done with it. Chemical setting in there will age the pump pretty quickly, and you're not going to get as much life out of the system. So rinsing that out is essential. The other type of gun, which is what we've moved on to, this is called a spray down gun. And this is going to eliminate the need for the J-rod, essentially. This is going to, a light pull of this will make a broad cone. The more you pull the trigger in, that cone will reduce more and more until you're fully depressed, and that's going to give you a long stream. So that's nice. This is much more compact. These are more heavy duty than the other type of soft washing wand, and I just love them because they're tough and they do the job, and I don't have to keep up with extra nozzles in my pocket. Either of the guns, depending on which one you want to go with, they definitely, the guns and the pumps themselves always need to be thoroughly rinsed. Leaving sodium hypochlorite in there will definitely age the pumps, age the guns, cause corrosion, and start creating problems. So take care of your equipment. It'll be much more dependable and give you a lot more life out of it. All right, I hope this video helped explain to you guys what soft washing is and what the purpose of it is. I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to follow our channel, like and subscribe. We'll be sure to update you with our new videos that are coming out, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. Thanks for watching with us.